I'm Ashley Abishan Arkand, and this is Business Email Etiquette Tips. Today we are talking about to email or not to email. That is the question. Okay, so we've been talking a lot about email, and there are so many great times and situations and uses for email. But there are also communications that should or should not take place through email. So, some things that you should consider before sending an email is, could this be a conversation that really needs to take place in person? In person conversations can be more intimate, also more detailed if it's a working session that is needed. Sometimes in person sessions are just way more beneficial. Obviously, if we're in the middle of a pandemic, in-person sessions are not as easily accessible or might not be possible. But in-person sessions are a great way to communicate, especially if it is a sensitive topic or a serious topic that really needs some more humanity and to be there in person together. The next, phone call. So here is an example I'll give you. And it's another tip is extinguishing flame wars. And what a flame war is sometimes, I'm sure we've all been in those reply alls where people are not getting along or pointing the finger and blaming each other for something that happened. And it keeps escalating and getting out of hand. What really needs to happen before you hit reply all and can contribute to this back and forth conversation is you need to make a phone call. And you need to call whoever it is that is having the conflict. And you need to work through a plan with them. Even if it's, hey, let's get together for a meeting and talk through this instead of replying all. Then, once you have done that, once you've kind of come up with a plan to address the issue, that's when you reply all and say, hey, just letting everyone know, I called this person on the phone. Here's our plan to address it, and we'll let you know once it's been resolved. Then you not only have avoided additional reply alls back and forth, making everyone look pretty unprofessional. You've avoided that happening, and you also are now like the hero. You are the person who put an end to those emails, and you came up with the next steps, a way to get to a solution quicker. Okay, so email, in person, on the phone. Sometimes the instant message is a quick way to get information to them. If it's something that they just need real quick and they don't need to sift through a bunch of emails to get to, instant messaging is a great one-to-one communication mechanism that might be best suited for whatever it is you're trying to communicate. But also there are some things, some information that would be very helpful to share with many people. And maybe it's a question you have that other people might have that question as well. Or maybe it is information that you want to share out, and you could share it by email, but then it gets lost in the email. You want it to be out there on a place where people can reference it later. So a few ways to do that are a blog or a website, putting the information out there and continually referencing and pointing people to that website. But there are a few other tools to communicate to many, from one to many. And the tools that I'm talking about are Slack is a really great tool that we use at my work. And it is, you can set up different channels to communicate to different groups of people. And you can post information and pin it where people can reference it later. And so it's a great place to ask questions that other people might also have. And if you get an answer, then everyone in the audience can see, oh, I had that question too, and look, here's the answer to it. Another forums are great for this. I know Reddit, many message boards are all great places to put out information, ask questions that maybe you're not the only person who needs the information. Okay, so email, though, is a great way to communicate. I hope that these tips have been helpful to you. And as you start to communicate to your different audiences and stakeholders, you really think through Who's your audience? What is the best channel to communicate to them? Is it a video? Is another way that maybe is a more effective way to get your message across. So I'd love to hear from you. Send me an email or instant message me and let me know what you think. Feel free to comment as well. I will talk to you soon.